Hello everyone, Randy here, and we're playing Farming Simulator 17 on Gold Crest Valley. And wow, this cultivator's going crooked all of a sudden. Anyway, since last episode, went ahead and been working on replanting the fields. I believe this is the last field here we need to cultivate. As you can see, the field was plowed already. And then we got the planter sitting over on field 22 there, I believe that is. It's sitting on. Pretty much just a couple of fields here that need to be done yet. Actually, you know what? Does this field need to be plowed? I think it did, didn't it? Okay, so I got one more field that needs to be done yet. No, this field did not need to be plowed. Okay. So one more field that needs to be cultivated here yet. So we just about have the replanting here done. And we're going to go ahead and work on harvesting the canola. The canola field is ready to be harvested here this episode, so we're going to go ahead and get that harvested. And that field should not need to be plowed, by the way, because we did do that before we planted it. Okay, hired worker, get to work. I've noticed this particular cultivator is being very derpy at times, like what it's doing right now if I get back in the tractor here a moment. I actually guess it looks pretty straight here at the moment. Sometimes it's really at a weird angle to the tractor. I don't know what's up with that. And then if you notice missing spots on the field every now and then as well. Again, don't know what's up with that, but just a little bit of annoyance with this cultivator every now and then. Okay, and I think we'll just go ahead and maybe hire a worker for the canola here for the moment. You may notice we're definitely in the hole at the moment as far as money goes. Minus $24,000 at the moment, so $24,000 in the hole. Costing us a bloody fortune here to replant our fields, which, at least as far as real life goes, is to be expected. Also, since last episode, I went ahead and returned our Massey Ferguson tractor. We were leasing that tractor. I returned that tractor. And then I also returned the Lemken, the blue plow we were leasing. So both the Massey Ferguson and the Lemken have been returned. This is fertilized, right? Yes. And obviously the Massey Ferguson there, we were using that mostly for fertilizing and stuff like that. Now we got our next smallest tractor here, the Voltra, on that duty. Now we'll check, I believe this, yes, this field does need to be fertilized. And seeing as how it is costing us a fortune in fertilizer here, maybe we'll do it ourselves this time. Since I do have the fertilizer obviously bought for this. Cost us a little bit less here if we do it ourselves. And this should, by the way, with how I'm fertilizing, get us up to 2 levels of fertilizer on each field. And then what I'm thinking we'll do, we'll probably just run the weeder through the fields to get the remaining level of fertilization needed. And speaking of fertilizer, by the way, I forgot to mention this last episode. The grass field on field 20 there. The last time I mowed it, I had 3 levels of fertilization on that field, as opposed, I think it was 2 levels of fertilizer the first 2 times I did that field. And we got, with 2 levels of fertilization, we were averaging 4.5 trailer loads of bales. So with 3 levels of fertilization, I actually got almost 5.5. Not quite 5.5, but real close to 5.5 trailer loads. So it definitely looks like fertilizing your grass field makes a difference. So we should actually probably get back over there and fertilize that field here again. But we'll probably wait. I'll maybe take care of that off screen there again. Get that field fertilized. So yeah, like I was mentioning with the cultivator there missing. You can see it missed a piece there. It does not like hills. And by hills, I mean even the slightest of hills. That I would definitely say that's a stretch to call this a hill here. But that cultivator does not like it. And we'll keep an eye on our harvester there. 50% now. Probably should set up a quick Courseplay course for that. Actually, for the size of that field, it might not hurt to actually maybe set up a full Courseplay course. That probably actually would be a good idea. Maybe we'll go ahead and do that here a moment. And I went ahead and put the Challenger here on. Our large Joskin trailer should have no problem pulling this trailer. Okay, we'll just start course recording here at this point. And what we're simply going to do is just drive back to our main farm here, across the silo unload spot, and then back to the field here again. And like I've said before, very important with the automatic detection for the combines. You need to make sure you start and stop the course on the field. If you fail to do so, Courseplay will not be able to automatically detect the combine, and you will need to manually select it. Which, in some cases, that actually might be preferable, depending on your situation. But in my case, I'd rather just leave it automatic. This also probably isn't the best of tractors to be recording Courseplay courses with, seeing as how this tractor can turn on a dime, or almost a dime anyway. Also, not sure how that's going to go with it crossing the road like that. We'll have to see once. Of course, I might be getting stuck in traffic a few times. We'll have to see. Okay, back on the field, and we'll just stop the course. And we'll save this as this was 26. And then we'll sort that out here a moment as well. Pretty much what we're doing here is just creating a folder to try to keep all the courses organized. So like field 20, for example, you want to see all the field 20 courses. Boy, who misspelled that one? So there's the field 20 courses, field 11 courses, field 14 courses. Looks like mostly just a lot of raking and baling courses there. Okay, put them on combine unload mode. First, actually, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, sure, whatever. Doesn't really matter where we put them for that one, come to think of it. You actually might not like going to the first waypoint. We'll see once here. Whoa, look out for the tree there, buddy. Like I said, it might not been a good idea to put this tractor on the Courseplay course. We'll see how it goes. He missed spots. I think that'll be okay. Pretty sure our tractor can, the planter can do no-till, so we should be good on that. And speaking of planters, like I said, definitely want to look at a larger planter here. Hopefully in the near future, maybe the next time we got a plant, we'll hopefully have a larger planter to plant with. And hopefully it'll be one that can fertilize as well. So then we can cut down on one level of fertilization here. Currently at the moment we have to provide 3 separate levels of fertilization. Our planter is not providing us with any, so a little bit of a challenge sometimes coming up with 3 ways to fertilize the field. Really should look at getting a larger sprayer. That would actually kind of be nice. Give the large New Holland sprayer a try. Okay, and I think field 16 needs to be fertilized here yet as well. And like I said, hopefully with that missing spot there, pretty sure our current seeder can no-till. It looks like we should cultivate this field here as well, probably. We'll see once. Maybe we'll just go for the whole no-till effect on this field or something. Being a little bit of a hill here, our current cultivator, as you can see, is a little bit derpy. Unfortunately, because it is a nice-looking cultivator. Really like the looks of that cultivator. Probably have to look at maybe getting the in-game cultivator instead. Very similar design. I think that one is 14 or 15 meters instead, though. A little bit wider. So that, of course, will be nicer. Okay, and there we go. Just about have this field done here as well. Okay, and our combine is still full. Yeah, what is going on with our Challenger? Is he not unloading the combine? Fortunately, it doesn't look like I can actually see anything from here. I've seen him go past the silo there, so I know he made it that far. Says he's going 0 miles per hour. I'm thinking we better go take a look over there, see what's going on. Okay, he should be detecting the combine, right? Or maybe is the combine not on the field? Oh, there's your problem. That is why the combine's not getting unloaded. The combine is not on the field. Okay. Also, I don't know why that's highlighted in red like that. Not sure what's going on there. There we go. Now he'll find the combine. Okay, we'll start planting here. And reduce that down to 6 meters. I don't know, for some reason the cedars sometimes get a little bit larger with the auto detection what they should. I'm assuming it's probably the row markers that are throwing off the GPS mod for the auto detection. Need to make sure we set that down to the proper width. Otherwise you will start missing little bits and pieces here and there. And like I was saying, this cedar currently does not fertilize. Kind of the one thing, I don't know if you want to call it a problem with this cedar. It'd be nice if it did it, though. Did not take long for him to get in traffic, did it? Okay. There we go. And by the way, with Courseplay, just a little tip here. When you have a tractor that's having issues, you can simply open up Courseplay on this tractor, or as long as you have access to the pointer, you can just go click on the tractor that's over here having the error message, and it will take you straight to that tractor. Obviously, I don't have any tractors over here having issues at the moment, but if you did, you can use that to go straight to that tractor. Okay, and we'll read some comments here a moment. Tyler was saying, cool video. Phase Warrior was saying, Do you like this map? Talking about the Smoky Mountains logging map. Yes, I do. Been playing on that map quite a bit on the multiplayer server. It is quite a bit of fun, I would say, doing some logging. Like I said before, it's not one of those things like want to do all the time in Farming Simulator, at least not myself anyway. But it is fun to every now and then just do some logging. So a pure logging map. And again, for those of you who watch the multiplayer series, we are on the Smoky Mountains logging map there for the multiplayer server. That is currently on server 2. And then server 1, we do have Pleasant Valley yet. And if you would like to join us on the multiplayer servers, make sure you just check out the multiplayer videos. And information is in the description of those videos on how to join the servers. George was saying that lag occurs to me for whenever I pull into the bale selling loft with the straps on, or reverse into the pond with a log trailer and the straps are on. So possibly maybe had the auto load trailer on or in the unload mode or something, just guessing. Yes, that could have been it with the lag that was going on there, trying to haul that logging trailer. And yes, I have noticed that as well, and I'm sure everybody else has as well. Even on the multiplayer server, it'll do it. Everyone will notice it, you know, if somebody is doing that. It's like, oh crap, the game's lagging all of a sudden because somebody, or if you're single player, obviously you, have the straps on and you're pulling into a cell location or something like that. Seems like the game does not like it with the straps on at times. Stepajan? Probably not saying your name right. I was asking about the bale wrapper. The question is, can you make it go faster? So if you have like 200 bales to do? Yes, you could make the bale wrapper go faster. You would have to edit the mod. And for those of you who want a faster bale wrapper, there is a mod for a faster bale wrapper out there. And it has been actually requested to put that on the multiplayer server. But I've kind of said no to that one. You know, I get the point of being faster, but at some point it's like, at what point do you just say no? So, you know, why not just put a 50-meter header on a combine and finish the field in one pass? Why not get a 50-meter planter and finish the field in one pass? Like I said before, for the mods I like to try to keep them to the realistic standard. So that, by the way, is kind of probably one reason the bale wrapper goes as, if you want to call it that, as slow as what it does. The RD Allen auto unloading bale wrapper, by the way, I've been told is slightly faster than the in-game one. I think the in-game one I've been told is like 15 seconds, and the RD Allen bale wrapper is 12 seconds, I guess, if I remember the numbers correctly. Kind of adds a good balance, in my opinion. It makes you take a while to make the bales. And of course, for those of you who have not seen the bale wrapper, if we go to the shop here, baling technology, and it's this bright green, bluish bale wrapper here, the RD Allen AUL, made by one of the players on the multiplayer server, and it simply has an automatic unloading script on it. So that means when the bale is done being wrapped, it automatically unloads. So very similar to the way the baler automatically unloads when it's full, the bale wrapper automatically unloads when it's done wrapping. So very, very nice feature there with that. George was talking about the first-person view here. I was thinking the same thing the other day, although I like doing things in first person. I don't think it would make for a good spectacle in a video. So that's kind of what I said, and I do get asked that every now and then. Somebody asks, hey, why don't you go first person for the videos? And like I said before, I do actually like to play first person. Just most people complain in the videos when I do that. Exactly like George was saying, it doesn't make for a very fun video to watch, and I kind of have to agree with the people. It doesn't look really, doesn't give you much sense of what's going on in the game if I just sit in the cab all the time. It's, in my opinion, and I have to agree with everybody on this one, looks much better from this view than it does from this view. But like I said, I do like to play in this view. And I suppose we should probably go check on what's going on here with the Challenger. I see it's blinking there. Of course, as soon as I bring that up, it disappears. I'm guessing he's trying, yeah, he's trying to unload the combine. He can't get close enough. Let's see what's here. Oh, he needs to get quite a ways away from this. Okay, we'll see how that goes. Don't know if that'll fix the issue or not. We'll see once. Farmer Pro is asking, when will your next logging video be? For those of you watching my single multiplayer series, typically I do them every other day. So, single player one day, multiplayer the next day. So hopefully from that you can figure out. Now, obviously I don't do that all the time. Sometimes I'll do 2 in a row or 3 in a row. If, say, for example, my internet isn't too good, then I'll do a single player instead of the multiplayer. Or if something else is going on. But typically, I try to do 1 single player, and then the next day will be 1 multiplayer video. Edward was asking, can you do a Courseplay tutorial? Can't get the baler to run right. Okay, as for baling, we'll just do a quick example here. Pretty much you want to make sure you have it in field work mode. Obviously, set up your field course here. So in the case of field 20... I just simply have a field 20 14-meter course. So it's just simply a 14-meter course, and all that course does is zigzag up and down the field. That's all that's to that course. It's automatically generated here under the field tab for Courseplay. And what you're going to want to do is run the same course for the windrower, which, by the way, if you're using a larger or smaller windrower, make sure you match the width of that to Courseplay here. But whatever width you're using, then you're going to use that exact same course for the baler. And then if you're wrapping, you're going to use the exact same course for the wrapper. So this course right here, the field 20 14-meter course, it is used to windrow the field, it is used to bale the field, and it is used to wrap the field. All 3 on the same Courseplay course. And it is vitally important you do that. Reason being, otherwise you will not be able to get the baler to line up properly with the windrows. I know somebody left a comment there in the last video saying, you can actually hire a worker with a windrower, right? Yes, I'm well aware. You can hire a worker with a windrow. However, if you do that, you cannot use Courseplay to windrow that grass then, as the Courseplay course will not line up with the windrows. So, kind of like I was saying, very important. If you want to bale with Courseplay, make sure you use Courseplay to also windrow. Now, you don't have to use Courseplay to mow. That doesn't matter. I mean, you can if you want, obviously. Doesn't really matter how you do that course. In my case, I just find it easier just to hire a worker to do the windrowing. Or I'm sorry, to do the mowing. Hire a worker to do the mowing, and then use Courseplay to do the windrowing. Nick was saying you should use some John Deere tractors. Yes, I should. We'll see once. We might actually save that maybe for the next map. Kind of stick with some more of the in-game equipment here for this map. But I do have a couple of, I don't know if I want to call them great, but at least some halfway decent John Deere tractors. Roland was saying, I wish modders would upload more logging mods for those on the console. Can't really comment on that as I don't have a console. Or at least I don't have a console with Farming Simulator on it anyway. Helper A is blocked by an object. Interesting. I wonder who that is. Also, why is it Helper A? That should be, that should actually have a name on it. Helper A is the Combine. Okay. What exactly is the Challenger doing? Don't know. Yeah, I don't know why that was red there, but we'll just kind of see if we can clear that. But yeah, anyway, like I was saying, I do have the hired helper tools should be on. So the hired helper actually should have a name. That's one thing the hired helper tools there does. It gives hired workers names. Is it still blocked yet? Because is it just me or is that message still showing up yet? Am I mistaken here that hired helper A is actually the A on the map there or not? Don't know how he could be blocked, because if you look at the map, he's clearly moving. Brody was saying, is that green wrapped bales a mod? If so, where did you get that from? So yes, the green wrapped bales is a mod. Like I was just actually mentioning a few moments ago, that is the RDL and AUL. Automatic unloading bale wrapper. And like I said, made by one of the players on the multiplayer server there. Simply just a reskin of the in-game bale wrapper, made green, and then added with the automatic unloading script on it. And by the way, just a little interesting story there. For those of you wondering, why is it green? Well, the individual that was making this was telling me he was making something for me. And I happened to ask, well, is it green? He's like, no, but it can be. So that is kind of how it ended up being green. Otherwise, I believe it was blue before he said it was. So pretty much when I asked if it was green or not, he said, well, we can make it that way. So that is how it ended up being green. And the bales, by the way, for that matter, ended up being green then as well. Anyway, looking at the time, looks like it's about time to wrap up the video. So with that, if you folks have any comments or questions, be sure to leave them below. And as always, thanks for watching and till next time.